Okay, the friendly type, Moon Knight, episode 3. Alright, so we open up to Layla, right? She's getting her passport faked by a family friend, the friendly type, and the friend is explaining to her like your father would be proud. Your father would be proud of what you're doing up on this earth, what you doing in your life. And Layla's all like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. You feel me? I guess, we'll never know. He's dead. You don't gotta bring him out. Chill out. And then we cut to Arthur Harrow in the desert leading the people. Now, what I find similar about this is that it kind of simulates the story in the Bible where Moses leads a group of people to the good spot. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the Promised Land or something like that. And it's kind of like a similarity where Arthur Harrow is kind of like Moses, and the people are Moses' disciples. And both in the same stories, the leaders are wearing red, because as you can see here, and as you can see here. Alright, so then we cut to Mark Spector, and Mark Spector, he running over doing rooftops doing parkour. And he comes across these 3 guys, and I want y'all to know, okay? A key intricate plot is part of that kid's jacket, and it is,
folks, Pharaoh Ramatut, aka Kang the Conqueror, 100% appeared in episode 3 of Moon Knight is hidden, because on the back of that jean jacket worn by that young thug is art of a pharaoh head with a specifically shaped headpiece and splashes of the colors teal and purple. Those are, of course, the colors of Kang the Conqueror in his Pharaoh Ramatut form, and the headpiece is designed directly from Mike Del Mundo's art of Pharaoh Ramatut from Avengers Volume 7, number 4 in 2017, part of the Kang War storyline. The only thing missing from this art, cryptically, is Kang's actual face. It's a blank space, a void, which also tells us something because Kang, through his countless variants, takes on many faces. And to all the skeptics out there, I hear ya, especially you geniuses at work who share our video thumbnails on Twitter and Reddit clearly without watching the videos. You may say this is just another case of me pointing to random comic panels to compare Disney Plus series episodes and make mountains out of molehills, but I can confirm that we have been in contact with crew members from Moon Knight who verified that this was an intentional Kang Pharaoh Ramatut Easter egg on the jacket. People, this is real.
Right? So Mark Spector fight, and actually, my arm is getting tired. Let me. Alright, yeah. Sorry. So Mark Spector fights the guys, and then he blacks out. He blacks out. Yeah. Mark Spector blacks, he fights, and then oh my goodness. Okay. So, oh my god. Okay. So Mark Spector blacks out, right? And he wakes up in a cab. He's like, yo, wait, hold up. Where am I? Where are you taking me? He's like, and the cab driver's all like, you told me at the airport. You just told me that. Are you okay? Are you okay? You just told me the airport. And he's like, wait, no, stop. And then he sees the 2 guys that he was just fighting. So he goes over, runs over to him, trying to question him. And then he gets one of the guys, but then the other dude knocks him on the back of the head. The dude that is in front of him punches him in his face, and then he falls on the ground hitting his head. So remind you, he got his head bashed in 3 times. Because remember, that's the key point in Moon Knight, where there's 3 identities: Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, and Jake Lockley. And it kind of symbolizes the next scene where Mark Spector opens up his eyes and he sees that the knife that he was using is jabbed into the one guy. The other dude is laying on the ground dead, and the kid is all beat up. So he looks into the knife in the reflection and is like, yo, Steven, what the hell did you do, bro? And Steven's all like, yo, I didn't do this. You know I'm a pacifist. I didn't do this. So we know that was Jake Lockley because in the comics, Jake Lockley is the more violent type. Like we have like in the order of violence, we have Jake Lockley, then Mark Spector, and then Stephen Grant. So yeah, so he goes ahead. So Mark Spector goes ahead. He grabs a kid, and the kid. Yeah, he grabbed the kid, puts him by the ledge, and holding him by like the scarf or whatever, and you know the kid cuts the tie, so he falls to death. Before he do that, he's all like, praise Amit, and I think it's kind of similar where like he knew he was gonna die, but before he was gonna do that, he say like praise Amit, and like it's kind of similar to where back in like the old Hydra scene is where we saw agents of Hydra before they would kill themselves, they would say Hail Hydra. So just like the kid before he killed himself, he said praise Amit. So we're kind of getting that Shield versus Hydra-esque again. Marvel can't do Marvel just have to do Marvel. Anyway, so Khonshu leads him to the so Khonshu leads Mark Spector to the pyramid of Giza, and or Egypt, or the main period in Egypt, right? The main period, the big pyramid, and they are all up in there, and Mark Spector he talks to the other gods. He talks to the other avatars of gods that the gods have take control over. So Mark Spector talks to him. He's like, listen, Arthur Harrow, he's evil. He's trying to resurrect Amit. Like, you gotta stop him. So they bring in Arthur. Arthur comes up in here, and Arthur's like, listen, I was just in the desert. If that's a crime, then the people that's guilty will be longer than the Nile. And you know, so all the gods, like, they believe Arthur and not Mark Spector, because Mark Spector had the dissociative identity disorder. So Arthur leaves, and all the gods, like, they all dip except one of the gods' avatars, and the god is Hearthrow, not Harrow, Hearthrow. And Hearthrow avatar is like, listen, I think I know what you're talking about. You gotta go to the black market. So he goes to the black market, and in the black market, he meets up with Layla, and Layla tells him, like, listen, like, the black market is not valid. We gotta go to Senfu. So they go to Senfu. Alright, so they go to Senfu, and like Senfu's like they talking to him, this, that, and the other. So Mark Spector goes to the goes into like the little globe thing where the little sarcophagus, I can't pronounce it. The sarcophagus is, right. He sees all the maps and the pieces. He's talking to Steven, and Steven's like, okay, put that there, fold this upon there, and then Senfu's people realize what Mark is doing, so they go up in there, guns drawn, this, that, and the other. So they take him out. Arthur comes. Arthur pulls up and kind of like gives Layla like an idea of what happened to her father. So a fight breaks out. Arthur dips. MoonKnight and Layla, they gotta fight to the death from Senfu's people. They finally kill them all. MoonKnight finally kills them all, right? And they go and leave. So MoonKnight and Layla is in the truck, and Layla's like, yo, what was Arthur talking about my father? Like, what was that about? And Arthur and Moon Knight's like, listen, like Mark is like, listen, don't worry about it. Like, he's just trying to like, he's lying to you. Just don't listen to him. We gotta focus on the mission. And Layla's like, all right. I mean, like, and Layla's like, every single time I find out about, I find something about you, I'm like, all right, that's it. I know everything about you. And then something else comes up and it's like, I don't know you at all. So they stay quiet. They're in the desert. And, and Mark is trying to redo what happened when they were at the sarcophagus. And, he can't do it. So Layla's all like, listen, I know you can't do it, but Mark, he knows about this shit. Like bring him out. Like, come on. So, so Mark is like, all right, fuck it, and he breaks off the mirror of the van and goes over to like more of the desert, like in front of Layla or whatever, and you feel me? He goes into the mirror. He's like, all right, Steven, you're in, and then Oscar Isaac transitions into Stephen Grant. Boom! They do the pieces. They find out that the stars was aligning with the stars that how it looked like on the paper was aligned just like 2,000 years ago. So Khonshu pulls up. He like, I remember that night. Yeah. And Khonshu and Steven, they go ahead onto the hill and they turn back. Not they don't turn back time, but they turn back the sky, and the sky moves 2,000 years ago. Layla got it, but it knocked Steven out, and because of what Khonshu did, he turned into stone. Okay, the tomb. All right, there's a couple things I want to say of this episode. First thing is, Layla is a fucking badass. Third thing is, Arthur Harrow's a fucking dickhead. Third thing is, yo, what in the world happened, yo? Okay, so as we know, Layla fights the creature, entity, whatever, right? After she do that, Arthur talks to her and tells her the truth, like that Mark Spector killed her dad. So she gets upset. She storms off. She meets up Steven, right? Steven is all up in Arthur is all up in Adams the Great guts. He really was. Don't look at me like that. And you feel me? And she wants to know what happened. So she calls Mark, right? Mark is summoned. So Mark is like, listen, we gotta go, we gotta dip. Like, we about to be in trouble. Listen to me, we gotta go. Layla's like, no, we're not gonna leave. We're gonna stay here. If we die, and you're gonna tell me what happened. So Mark tells him that he didn't kill him, but Layla's like, oh, but you were there. And Mark was like, yeah, I was there. It was one of my partners. He got greedy and shit happened. Layla's upset. Arthur comes with his goons. Pow! Pow! Arthur shoots Mark in the chest twice. Mark goes into the pool. Or the water. Mark goes into the water, right? And then it cuts to him, like, drowning. Even though we saw that he couldn't drown because the floor was right there. And that, like, if you really step on it, like, the most that would happen is your ankles would get wet. But anyway, we see him drown, and then we cut. Psychiatric mental hospital. We see all the characters. We see the golden guy that Steven talks to. We see Donna that Steven is the boss of. And we see the girl that Steven tried to get a date, but it was really Mark who got the date. Then we see we see the painting of the village. Then we just get a whole bunch of Easter eggs throughout the show. And you feel me? So it's Mark. So Mark, he talks to Arthur, and Arthur talks to him, but like Mark is not having it, so he tries to leave. So he leaves and escapes. So he leaves. He runs down the halls. He goes, turns left, turns right. Boom, 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 and then he locks himself in a room. And the room, and coincidentally, the room that he just so happened to get into, it holds a sarcophagus, and in the sarcophagus, it holds Steven. So now Steven and Mark hug each other. They're like, Mark, Steven, Mark, this, that, and the other. So then they go over to, like, they walk a little bit and they see a door open and they see another sarcophagus. And I'm guessing that in the sarcophagus that is Jake. So they go try to leave. They go to the door, boom. Next thing you know, we see Gloria.
Hi.
And the episode is over. So yeah, that's the end. That's the two. See, that's the 2 episodes of Moon Knight. You got the friendly type and then the tomb. I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna escape. I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna come back into the same body. I'm trying to figure out if they're just gonna completely forget about that whole entire scene and just jump to Layla trying to get Mark out the water. I want to know what's going to happen.